1/4 of an inch like this. And then I fold it over. And then you 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 fold it over and fold it over. And then you fold it over and fold it over. And you have an airplane. You don't think that's an airplane? Well, I'll show you in just a minute now. I taught science, you know, I like science. So we're going to take this airplane, get a small piece of adhesive bonding strip, tuck one side inside the other, and when you install the adhesive bonding strip, the sticky side goes down. That's very important. This is very serious. Now, if you add a small quantity of salivary extract to your phalanges, like this, and you throw it just like a football, you have an airplane. I told you it's an airplane. Now pay attention. All you do, throw it. Okay. Now, thank you. I like science, but science has a long history of teaching things that are wrong. And I want you guys to be good science students. And you need to understand, when you're studying science, the word science means knowledge, things that we know. But sometimes it's not things that we know, it's things that we think we know. And it turns out they are wrong. You know, for a long time, the scientists used to teach people things that are just simply not true. Now, a good science student learns to look at things and say, wait a minute, maybe this is true and maybe it's not true. Let's just examine the facts, okay? For instance, they used to teach the kids for a long time that all the planets go around the Earth. That was taught for a long time, and it's wrong. They used to teach the kids, big rocks fall faster than little rocks. That was taught for 2,000 years in schools, and guess what? It's wrong. They used to teach the kids, if you're sick, you have bad blood. Take out your blood and you'll get better. Wrong. There were special places all over the country to get your blood taken out. You could tell where they were because they had a white pole with a red stripe around it. The barber was the bloodletter. And what they did was wrong, and that's how George Washington died. I like science, but I think they're teaching us a couple things today that are simply not true. For instance, most of the textbooks in school say the universe began 20 billion years ago with a Big Bang. I think that's one of the dumbest theories in the history of the world, but we're going to talk about it today anyway. Textbook says 18 to 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang. Okay, well, what exploded? Yeah. And then they say 4.6 billion years ago the Earth cooled down and it formed a hard rocky crust. Yes, boys and girls, the Earth's surface was hot and there were large pools of bubbling lava. Textbook says oceans formed as it rained on the rocks for millions of years. Oh yeah, this one says millions of years of torrential rains created great oceans, and swirling in the waters of the oceans is a bubbling broth of complex chemicals. It says progress from a complex chemical soup to a living organism is very slow. I guess it is. Doesn't even happen. That's how slow it is. This guy said the first self-replicating systems must have emerged in this organic soup. So according to some people's theory, 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang, and I've got this information on the chart right here. 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang. 4.6 billion years ago the Earth cooled down. Then it rained on the rocks for millions of years and turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. And that first life form found somebody to marry. Oh, now there's a good trick. And something to eat, of course, and slowly evolved into everything we see today. So according to their theory, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa was soup. Now, I happen to believe that's a pretty dumb theory, but hey, some people believe that. That's okay. You can believe what you want. So what we're going to do is talk about how science works today, because a good science student learns to examine that maybe what I'm being taught is simply not true. And you have to always keep that in mind and say, hold it, this just might not be the case. Okay, I think it's wrong. Adolf Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough and often enough, the people will believe it. And we've heard this for a long time, about billions of years ago, and I think it's wrong. I think they're actually wrong today about two things. I think they're wrong about the age of the Earth. The Earth is not billions of years old. And there's all kinds of ways to prove that scientifically. Hey, did you know the moon is going around the Earth? How many knew that already? Okay, good. Did you know as the moon goes around the Earth, it's gradually getting farther and farther away? We're slowly losing the moon. It's drifting off about 3 inches every year. No big deal, nothing to worry about. Plus, nothing you can do about it anyway. But the moon is getting farther from the earth every year. Now kids, this is going to be complicated, so listen carefully. The moon gets farther from the earth every year. So that means that it used to be closer. How many can figure this out with no help? Okay, you with me now? Okay, good. Well, if you bring the moon back in closer, you start to create a problem, you see, because the moon causes the tides. It pulls the water up. Well, if the moon was closer, there's a law called the inverse square law. If you take it into 1/2 the distance, you take that 1/2, inverse it, and square it, it's 4 times the gravitational pull. What that means is, a little over 1 billion years ago, the moon was whizzing around just above the surface of the earth. And here they are telling us the earth is 4.6 billion years old? I don't think so. That's just not scientifically possible. On one of my videos, we cover about an hour's worth of reasons why the earth cannot be billions of years old. It just can't be for all sorts of scientific reasons. Now, I think they're also wrong about dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. My website is Dr. Dino. Our phone number is 479-DINO. I have dinosaurs on my tie. We like dinosaurs, okay? I think they're wrong today about dinosaurs. This guy in National Geographic says, no human being has ever seen a live dinosaur. Well, now, hold on just a minute. Does he know that, or does he think that? He thinks that. There's no way he could know that unless he talked to everybody that ever lived, right? Did he talk to you before he wrote that article? Do you think he talked to Adam and Eve? No. You can't say nobody's ever seen one. He doesn't know that. He thinks that. But it just could be that he thinks wrong. Let's talk about dinosaurs here. Oh, hands up, back down, okay? In California, 1925, this thing washed up on the beach. It was dead. People came and looked at it and said, what on earth is that? You can see the nose and the front, the head. There's his eyeball right there. Here's his neck coming down this way. The guy behind him's got a rifle just in case it moves again. People came and looked at that thing and said, wow, that's a plesiosaurus. The neck was 20 feet long. One atheist wrote me a letter one time and said, Hovind, you're so stupid. Don't you know that was a whale? I said, just exactly where is the neck on a whale? Where is the neck on a whale? The people who had looked at it said it's a plesiosaurus. Now the question would be, how could a plesiosaur wash up on the beach in California in 1925 when the books are telling us they died 70 million years ago? I think somebody is wrong about something, someplace. And we're going to try to examine this today. Everybody that saw it said it was a plesiosaurus. I like dinosaurs. We have Dinosaur Adventureland in my backyard in Pensacola, Florida. You come on down and pay us a visit there in Pensacola. We have about 10,000 visitors in 2002 came. All kinds of people come to visit us at Dinosaur Adventureland. We have all kinds of rides and activities and swings and really cool stuff. We teach the kids the scientific way to shoot a rubber band, the scientific way to make a paper airplane. Not this kind, but we have another kind that goes 400 feet. Completely over your gymnasium, absolutely no problem. We have lots of activities for the kids. We make model dinosaurs, and there's lots of stuff to do. We don't have time today to cover that because I know you guys are anxious to get back to class. No? Okay. Anyway, you can come down and pay us a visit there. We have lots of dinosaurs. We have a T-Rex head sticking out of the building. Loves to eat kids that are in 4th grade. Loves them. Kids get a Dinosaur Adventureland license. Every activity that we do there has a science lesson and a spiritual lesson. We try to teach kids things that will last them for a lifetime. You can get dinosaur hunting and dinosaur, oh man, lots of cool stuff. If you break a record, you get your name on our website, dinosauradventureland.com, and you get a $5 gift certificate with a famous president on it. That's not me. That's a picture of me. Okay, this is me. Anyway, you can go fossil hunting, where you can dig for fossils. You can try our Congo Trail, where you got to go through the spider web and over the obstacle course and through the cave, carrying a water balloon the whole time. Very difficult to do. You can see our mad scientists, Dr. Kaboom and Dr. Kabang, do science experiments where they blow things up and burn things down, and they have a wonderful time. You can try our climbing wall. Oh, that's a tough one, to see if you can make it all the way to the end of the climbing wall. And that is really hard. You can learn all sorts of interesting lessons there. And you can try our giant swing, our leap of faith off the tower. Here's a kid about to try the leap of faith. You put the kid up there. The tower's about 16 feet tall. You climb up there and you sit in the seat and you hang onto the handles and you take off. Here he goes. Oh, here we go. We're going to put this kid. This kid's 4 years old. We have 3-year-olds do it all the time. And you drop them off. Now that's a swing. If you do hit the tree, it does not hurt the tree. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it feels better when it quits hurting. Yeah. You can line up and try our leap of faith. The kids jump, they love that. The first time it is absolutely terrifying, and then you're going to want to do it all day long. But you can only do it 300 times per day, no more. Come back the next day and do it again if you'd like. There. You can try our climbing wall, see if you can make it all the way across to the dinosaur and ring the bell. We have all kinds of things to learn, fossils you can handle, a regular museum, all kinds of stuff on dinosaurs. You can try the swamp swing where you try to get across. We have a self-propelled merry-go-round. You turn the wheel in the middle, but it doesn't move. Instead, you do. And you go round, round, round until you puke, and then you get off, okay? You can try the nerve-wracking ball. We have a 16-pound bowling ball. We put it next to your nose and drop it, and when it swings out and comes back, you can't blink or move to get your card punched. Very scary. You can try our circle swivel spring swingosaurus. I made this one up myself in the middle of the night. I learned if you eat a whole bunch of pizza before you go to bed, at 2 in the morning you get really cool ideas. They're called nightmares. And it swings and circles and swivels and does all sorts of cool things. You can play basketball on the trampoline. If you want to play basketball on a trampoline, that's a lot of fun. There's our circle swivel spring swing. We have a merry-go-round that not only goes around, it swings. A swinging merry-go-round. Pretty cool. And you can try to learn about centrifugal force on our flingosaurus. We can make dinosaur targets out there, and you go hunting with water balloons. Try to launch water balloons and hit the dinosaurs. You can measure how many horsepower you have with our horsepower demonstration. You hook into the swing and the swing set seat there, and you pull and see how fast you can pull up 15 or 30 or 55 pounds to measure your horsepower. Pretty cool. We like science around our place. Then we make our super airplanes that go 400 feet. The kids really, really like those. We'll teach you how to make one if you come down and visit us. We like dinosaurs. But there's one thing about dinosaurs I do not like. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. Okay? This one is the Apatosaurus. You can pat him, but he will bite. I like the Apatosaurus. But there's one thing about him I do not like. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. This one is the Brachiosaur. Now the Brachiosaur is different from the Apatosaur. His back legs are longer than his front legs, and his front legs are longer than his back legs. This one's jacked up in the front, this one's jacked up in the back. This one probably got better gas mileage, and this one had more horsepower. Okay. I don't know why, but there's different models made that year. Anyway, the Brachiosaurus had pretty big toe bones. This is a toe bone from a Brachiosaur. If you feel your finger, you got 3 bones in your finger. It's the second one back from a Brachiosaurus. Now kids, this is going to be complicated. So listen carefully. The reason he had such big toe bones is because he had big toes. How many can figure this out with no help? Okay? Now, he had those big toes because he had a big foot. There's a kid taking a bath in a Brachiosaur footprint. And he had that big foot because he had a big leg to hold up. His front leg was up to the ceiling in here. That's just to the top of his front leg. His neck goes on up from there. The biggest one they ever found is found in Oklahoma. It is 60 feet to the top of the head. They say it probably weighed about 100 tons, which is equal to 14 school buses put together. That means if he was to come by and step on you, you would be deeply impressed by him. You would be road pizza. I like Brachiosaurs. Oh, beep, hands up, back down. Okay. But there's one thing about the Brachiosaur I do not like. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute, okay? This one is the Stegosaurus. Now, the Stegosaurus is a very rare dinosaur. Only about 5 or 6 have ever been found. If you found Stegosaur bones, you would be rich. They had plates on their back, and I have with me today a copy, a replica of one of the small plates. This is one of the little plates down by his tail. The big ones were bigger than the small ones. I like the Stegosaurus. He had spikes on his tail. We've got a copy of a tail spike in our museum down there in Pensacola, if you come see it. Big old spikes on his tail.